Hi, my name is Sam Fabrizio, and this is my persuasive speech and the need and benefits for hydraulic fracturing or fracking. Can you imagine paying $10 for gas? What about breaking the bank just so you don't freeze? That is the reason why we need fracking and why it is beneficial to the United States. I care about this topic because I've done many reports and research on it, and I found out that uneducated people are slowing the process of it moving forward. I'm going to discuss with you the main points of why we need fracking. First, the issues that the U.S. faces with energy and non-renewable resources. Second, what fracking is and how it can be used to resolve the issues. And third, how fracking corrects these issues and it's beneficial to the U.S. Problems that need to be addressed. The U.S. imports most of its petroleum, therefore it needs to increase its natural gas and oil drilling. According to the official U.S. government source for fuel economy information, 73% of oil reserves are controlled by OPEC. Second, current non-renewable resources are harmful to the environment, such as coal and oil, compared to other resources, such as natural gas, that is tapped into during the fracking process. And high prices for the consumer. Over the past 5 years, prices have been steadily increasing, and since the fracking boom has taken place, prices have been starting to decrease, as you can see. This is why we need fracking. So what is fracking? If you don't know what fracking is, it's used to extract natural gas and oil from the ground in pockets called shale gas plays that are thousands of feet under the ground. This is done by injecting a mix of water, sand, and chemicals at a high pressure that it actually fractures the rock and allows oil and natural gas to flow up the tube. Currently, right now, there's close to 500,000 active natural gas wells in the U.S. Fracking is increasing our position in the world. There are approximately 58 billion barrels of recoverable crude oil under our feet right now, and 665 trillion cubic feet of recoverable natural gas. This puts us second in the world for possible crude oil production, and fourth behind China, Argentina, and Algeria for natural gas. By fracking, the U.S. will increase its output of non-renewable resources. According to Bob Abahouse of Al Jazeera English, said over the past 5 years, daily oil production in the U.S. increased 3 to 7 million barrels, while U.S. net imports of oil dropped 44%. Doing this will allow America to reap the benefits that come along with the process. So, what are the benefits of fracking for the U.S.? Well, by fracking, we will gain much needed resources and the benefits that come along with the process of fracking. We will become a self-efficient nation that has its own resources. According to Brian Swint of Bloomberg, North America will provide 99% of the world's shale through 2016. Contrary to popular belief, there are actually some benefits to fracking. The positives outweigh the small number of negatives that come along with fracking. Most that are opposed to fracking believe that fracking is the worst thing ever. Contamination of water, earthquakes, greenhouse gases. But actually, studies show that a study done here in PA showed that 200 private water wells were assessed before and after fracking. After 199 out of the 200 show that water was exactly the same every time, except for one that was contaminated by the spilling of a truck carrying chemicals. Earthquakes, there are little to none. According to Sue Ann L. Brantley and Anna Merdenhoff of the New York Times, of the tens of thousands of deep injection wells in use by the energy industry across the United States, only about 8 locations experienced injection-induced earthquakes, most too weak to feel, and none causing significant damage. Greenhouse gases are another problem. So gases are released during the fracking process. Methane and carbon dioxide are released, but fracking has a significant environmental advantage over coal mining. Shale gas, which is natural gas, actually emits half the carbon dioxide per unit in comparison to oil and coal. Natural gas is the cleanest non-renewable resource to use, burns cleaner in comparison to oil and coal, and it will help consumers. According to Steve Minter from Industry Week, he says that the U.S. petroleum product prices were between 29 cents and 94 cents per gallon lower in 2013 than would have been without hydraulic fracturing. This is according to a study by the American Petroleum Institute. Is reduction estimated 63 billion to 248 billion in 2013, and since 2008, the present savings between 165 billion and 624 billion. And lastly, jobs. Fracking creates jobs. Created 1.7 million new direct and indirect jobs in the United States, and is likely to rise to 3 million jobs over the next 7 years. These are the reasons why fracking needs to increase. So I'm asking you, the audience, next time you vote and see policies, to be in support of fracking, because it helps in what we are going to achieve in future with natural resources such as natural gas. Fracking shouldn't cause a slowdown in research for better, cleaner forms of energy. If anything, it should help us look for better alternatives, such as more cleaner and natural forms opposed to natural gas. But currently, at this time, natural gas is the cleanest form of energy. In 10 years, we can either be dependent on other nations for our resources, or we can be an independent nation that's self-efficient, not controlled, cleaner with jobs, and cheaper prices provided to the consumers for our citizens to put money towards joys in life. So unless you enjoy spending your money on basic needs of modern life, I advise you to be in support of fracking. Thank you.